Hello everyone and welcome back to Dinkum. My name is Melanie V. This is now episode 4 in our Sonova Speed Bell series. And we're going to get started on Sunday the 22nd of summer and go all the way to Saturday the 28th. Now this is going to be part 1 of maybe 3 parts, possibly just 2 as well. We'll see how it goes. But of course we're going to get started on Sunday. And here we are using the site we just made, an iron site, to collect some resources. All this time have been using my chainsaw, but this seems to work just well. Then we went and harvested some crops on our giant crop field, testing out that site. And of course we had to replant everything we just harvested. So we planted some sugarcane here. And then it was back to work collecting resources. We wanted to get a lot of seeds, of course. Mostly was trying to get some of the furgrass seeds. But unfortunately, we broke our site there. So we had to go back to using the chainsaw. And we gathered resources pretty much all day long. We needed a lot of seeds. Got attacked by a bush devil there, but he got distracted. After a full day of collection, it was off to bed. Next morning, we headed over to John to buy a mine pass. I wanted to go into the regular levels of the mines, just cause I needed to get some more of the ruby shards. I also bought a shovel. Purchased a shovel every day at John's this week. But here we go into the mine. Now I only had 7 keys to start with. And pretty much every treasure room takes 2 keys. The first treasure room was pretty close by. But it really didn't have that much in it. Same thing with the second treasure room. We did manage to find one more treasure room, but we were just really searching for the ruby shards. And there we go, found our first one. Got 3 shards from that. Found this other treasure room here, but at this point I only had 1 key left. But here we go, another ruby. Kept this one whole because we were pretty close to the mine exit. We just took it back. Off we went again, and another one that was pretty close by. We collected some more glow mushrooms, and then it was time to head back up. Then off we went again to collect some more resources. And I collect some more of the fern, and I also wanted some wood nut trees seeds. But always collecting seeds it seems. We needed some bush seeds as well. Then it was bedtime again. Next morning, I decided I wanted to create a little bit of privacy between my house and the little park. So we decided to get that set up with a tree privacy fence. So planted some pine cones. And in between the pine cones, I just alternated between some of the quandongs and some of bush limes. But I ran out of quandongs, so I had to go pick a few. And then Fletch called us over and let us know that Rain had requested that her greenhouse be moved. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, I can do that for Rain. Put the count in 25,000 in debt though. Now after taking the call from Fletch, I headed back to finish up on the privacy tree fence. And then we just got to work on getting an area set up for Rain's greenhouse. And she requested that it be close to the giant crop field. So we just had to clear out an area to get the greenhouse set up. And then got bored with doing that, so we headed over to Site B to set up our beach area with it. But I wasn't paying attention and I got knocked out from being too tired. Next morning we were back at it again, getting that beach area cleared out a bit on Site B. And we continued on in Site B, just kind of adding a little extra terraforming around this area. And I was gonna plant out a bunch of trees around the perimeter. So we cut down a bunch of bananas. And I decided to make the path area between the two connection areas a little bit thicker. And we got some more bananas ready to be planted. And here was just picking up the area between the farm and the water. And we went back kind of clearing out some of the sand. After we cleared out quite a bit of sand, we decided to put down some coconuts and some more bananas to be planted. And we kind of surrounded the whole area. Now it was time to get all of these seeds we had dropped down planted. And then it was back to getting things set up for the greenhouse on site A. So we had put down some fencing earlier, but it was not aligned correctly, so we had to kind of undo it and redo it. And this was a bit of a struggle, but we did manage to get it done. And we went back over to site B. And we were just dropping down some fern seeds now to get planted in between the bananas and the coconut. And I decided to add some more coconuts to the mix. And of course a few more fern seeds. And then it was back over to site A. We finished up what we had started. We were still struggling to get the fencing to line up correctly, but I think I had it correct this time. And now that the fencing was correct, we put down the plant shop feed. And then I was just doing the landscaping behind the shop, behind and just around to the side as well. We're just gonna plant a bunch of trees behind. And we're just randomly dispersing the pinecone seeds, and we're gonna add some blackwood seeds in the mix here too, and even a couple of apples. And then I moved the beehives from where they were over to closer to range shop. And we began work on getting all the tree seeds planted. And finally, we decided to call it a day. Next morning, we got our sprinklers set up in the new crop field area. We were only able to make 4 sprinklers at this time, so that's all we shut down. And I also added in a few gates between the fences. And we were off once again in search of resources. Needed more seeds. So we cut down a bunch of pine trees, cut some fir grass seeds as well. I was also planning to use some wood peanuts. And we spent a large portion of our day sourcing seeds. Now it was time to get them placed and planted. We were just adding a few blackwood seeds to the mix here, and even more pine cone. And on the other side, we were putting down some more pine cone. We didn't do as much landscaping on that side. But now we were just adding a few apples in between. Now for some more terraforming. I'm trying to create a path to get down to the greenhouse from the back way. We created a secondary path around here. And we added some more trees to our landscaping. And we tossed in a few spinifex tucked in between just to kind of give it a more lush, full look. And we added some desert pea in between just for a pop of color. I decided to go with the desert pea because the apples were red and I figured they were a good match. And then Croc decided to seek our attention, so we gave him some attention, and he gave us some croc meat. And I decided to lower the area behind the barn to plant the pine cone so we can have 2 layers. And I wanted to disperse this with some gumwood in between just to create a little bit of diversity. And we figured we'd toss a few bush limes in between as well. Yeah, we're just kind of clearing out a path so we can get from the farmer's market area to behind, get to the greenhouse. So some more terraforming was needed here. And then some spinifex tuff and some gumwood trees to fill out the back of the barn area here. Then we added some fir grass seed to give it that green, lush color. I absolutely love the fir grass green. And now it's time to plant it all. And then we move back over to side B. Wanted to get a few more fern seeds planted in the water. And then somehow we fell into the center of the world. I tried taking off my helmet, thinking it would make us float. But we just kept sinking and sinking, and we passed out. And the next morning, we went to work on some more terraforming. Now this is at Site C, which is across from the market area. We did some more terraforming over here. Certainly unearthed a lot of goodies. And we got attacked by a shark. But we let him know who's boss, and we took his meat. And back to site B, we're placing down some seaweed. And also planting some more fern seeds in between. We pretty much worked on these two areas for the rest of the day. First, we had to leave the site to go in search of some more blackwood seeds. And after we collected quite a bit, we went back to do some more terraforming and plant some of these new seeds. Collected a bunch of gum log, and as I was collecting, I found a bunch of beehives. we found about 5 beehives that day. And now it's time for the progress tour. After a long day's work on Saturday, here we are at the back of the barn. And we saw a shark and fighting, and that was just kind of a wild thing to see. Didn't make much changes over in the market area, but we did kind of change up the stall's position a bit. And we lowered the flower bed around here. And over here on Site C, we kind of set up a little camp area. Now this is going to be part 2 and possibly part 3 of the project. But we got a little sitting area and we decided to sit here and spend the rest of the night enjoying our handiwork. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching.